Lanwin suppressed a shiver as the eaves of the forest drew nearer with every passing mile. The dark woods stood like an ominous weight pressing on her mind, threatening to overwhelm her senses. Reflexively, she fidgeted with her short bow in its leather case hanging from her saddle, forcing her eyes to watch her fingers rub the composite layers of horn, probing for any weakness. It was, of course, the third time she had done it in the past quarter hour, and a part of her mind was well aware that she was afraid. But the rote repetitive motions cleared her mind, and, though the fear never lessened, she found herself growing ever more in control of it. Suddenly she felt Eleanor's hand on her shoulder, light but firm. "Are you well, Lanwin?" Forcing a look of determination onto her face, she met Eleanor's gaze. "Well enough. We have a task given us. I will not let some trees and spiders make me a coward." Eleanor's eyes grew concerned, but after a moment she nodded. "Very well, then." Silence fell back over the little party as the forest drew ever nearer. Hello, and welcome to Agents of the White Council, my narrative campaign for the Lord of the Rings The Card Game by Fantasy Flight Games, in which I follow a group of heroes as they quest across the length and breadth of Middle-earth, fighting back against the Shadow in the east. Today, we will be playing Return to Mirkwood, the sixth and final quest of the Shadows of Mirkwood cycle. It is the most difficult quest in the cycle, and a fitting capstone as a quest to all of the adventures we've been through before. Unlike the Dead Marshes, which was rather anticlimactic for being the narrative high point of the campaign, this quest is not going to be that way. Between ridiculous enemies like Attercop, the Hill Troll and Ungoliant Spawn, ridiculous treacheries like Gollum's Bite, and really any tantrum treachery, and the constant threat increase from Gollum, who forced at the end of the round raised the threat of each player of the player guarding Gollum by 3. This is not a quest for the faint of heart. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at our decks and their opening hands. Deck 1 is a rather standard variant on our traditional deck. Lanwin, Thalen, Eleanor, questing allies, feint, some defensive allies in the deck like Honor Guard and Defender of Ramas. The only major changes we've added a couple copies of Ride Them Down. It's a way to deal with Attercop if it comes out early before we're ready for it. Just cancel a turn of questing and delete the enemy instead of maybe losing a hero. And we've also added a couple copies of Ally Legless for the extra ranged attack, and because thematically it makes sense for the Prince of Mirkwood to rejoin our little party as we're on our way to his father's halls with Gollum in tow. So, for deck 1, this actually looks like a rather nice opening hand. It would be nice to have a test of will, admittedly, but we have Eleanor for that. And we start off with some card draw, we start off with Legolas, and we start off with some willpower and insurance against Attercop. All things considered, I'm happy with it. For deck 2, this is a mono lore deck designed to leverage Aragorn's ability to, once per game, reduce our threat to its starting threat level. At 25, that's remarkably low, so we can get quite a few rounds of questing even with Gollum's forced effect. So this deck is a lot of card draw and a number of allies meant to give us options, all sorts of options. This opening hand, we have a Dunedain Lookout, who is a good chump blocker, and also can be discarded to save ourselves from the when revealed effects of Ungoliant's Spawn, or potentially the King's Spider if necessary. If that comes out in the early game, each player exhausting a character could lead to undefended attacks, which could lead to losing the game. So, all things considered, I think the Lookout is a fine inclusion. We've got some card draw: Mithrandir's Advice, Deep Knowledge, a Ranger of Cardolan, which means we have a rather beefy ally we can drop in the moment we engage an enemy, Protector of Lorien, which means that Aragorn can become a stout defender, although I'm more inclined to put it on Eleanor to start with, because we don't have any readying on Aragorn. I'm most inclined to wait until we know who's going to be the good defender. So I think with that, we are fine as is, and would rather not take any mulligans. So, as part of our setup, Thrindir is going to search the entire deck for a copy of his side quest, Gather Information. I kept it in the sideboard because technically we're supposed to pull it out even before we draw our opening hand. Setup actions happen before we draw our opening hand according to the order of actions, and so keeping it in the sideboard means that there's no chance of it showing up in the opening hand, and we don't have to reshuffle everything. And it also means that we can easily use the Octagon interface to take a mulligan without worrying about shuffling our side quest back into hand. So, without any further ado, let's get started on the quest. Through the forest. Having captured Gollum, we must now escort him through Mirkwood Forest for interrogation at Thranduil's palace. So, setup, we pull out Gollum and choose a player to guard Gollum at the start of the game and put Gollum in front of that player. Player 2, this lore deck, is going to be guarding Gollum. We are more set up to deal with that constant threat increase. Then shuffle the encounter deck, reveal one card per player from the encounter deck, and add it to the staging area. First reveal, the Brown Lands. Second reveal, the Spider's Ring. Oh, good heavens, this is going to be one of those games. I see. Mirkwood is always a dangerous place, but it is even worse with Gollum. Between the outbursts, tantrums, and the flying provisions, you are not afforded a moment's peace. Let's go ahead and start the game. We draw another copy of Legolas. That's less than satisfying. And a Song of Kings. Also less than satisfying. So we are going to immediately draw 2 cards on each side. Ooh. Bofer. Very good. And a Defender of Ramas. Alright, so we have 8 threat in the staging area. Unless the East Bite shows up, we're going to be able to clear the Brown Lands. Well, we'll travel to it, and it'll force a progress token onto it, which is going to be slightly annoying because it means we won't be able to use our Elf Stone. But that's fine. 8. We can send 9 if we do all our heroes except for Eleanor. That's not good. So, because of that, you know what? Actually, it's a reasonably high likelihood we're going to fail this round. I'm going to save resources to bring in Bofer to get him for free, I think. Over here for this deck, we're going to play Gather Information. And then We're going to spend 2 resources to bring the Dunedain Lookout into play. And we are going to spend the last resource on Mithrandir's advice, drawing 3 cards. Probably should have done it the other way around, but it's fine. We found ourselves another copy of Elfstone. That is good. We'll be able to use it to bring Legolas into play on round 3, assuming all works out with locations. So, questing will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 8. I think so. The first reveal is the East Bite, because of course it is. And the second is Wargs. So we've added 3. Whoops, that's the wrong direction. 11. We'll spend a resource from Eleanor's resource pool. Put Beaufort into play, exhausted and committed to the quest. He boosts our willpower to 9. We are forced. Okay, we failed the quest, raising our threat by 2 apiece. And we are forced to travel to the East Bite. We will optionally engage the Wargs. Deal a shadow card. Do you know what? Just to clear things out, I'm going to feint those Wargs so they don't have a chance to go back to the staging area. Strike back with Aragorn on the lookout for 4, which is enough to kill them. Actually, the Wargs started out with the damage from Thalen. Not that it makes a difference. And there we go. Ready up. There's another hasty stroke, which is all good and nice, but not going to help us. Let's play Wingfoot onto Aragorn. Actually, Wingfoot is an exhaustible attachment, so let's not do that. We need willpower. Here's an East Road Ranger. It'll give us 3 willpower while we quest to that side quest. Oh yes, and at the end of the round, Gollum raised my threat by 3. Over here, we're going to spend 2 to get out an Ithir Swordsman. And I'm going to put an Ancient Matham right up there on the Spider's Ring. No, that's not going to do any good. We'll save it for playing a hasty stroke if we need to. There are some really back-breaking treacheries in this, or shadow cards in this game. So let's quest again. 2 with Lanwin, 3 with Thalen, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 against 8. Well, I guess we will see. First reveal, Wood Elf's Path. Second reveal, Mirkwood Bats, which take a damage from Thalen and are killed before the surge can happen. So we've added 1 threat to the staging area, and we make 7 progress. Which means let's travel to the Brownlands to get that out of the staging area. There are no enemies, so at the end of the round, our threat goes up by 3 for Gollum, and everybody readies. Very good. Oh. Still going to be a problem, but that's fine. Let's get out a Defender of Ramas, and save the rest of our money. And over here, now we will put Wingfoot onto Aragorn. And, well, spend it from Mirland. We'll put a Protector of Lorien on him as well. That should put us in a good situation. There's now only 4 threat in the staging area. We need to make 3 progress in order to clear that. You know, in retrospect, what I should have done is travel to the Spider's Ring. Then I could have pulled some shenanigans and guaranteed getting in Legolas this round. Oh well, it's too late. We're not going to do a retcon. Let's go with Lanwin. No, let's leave Lanwin up. We'll need the attack. Thalin, the Aether Swordsman, and Bofer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 against 4. That should be fine. Let's pull Mirland back. 12 against 4. With the ability to discard, Aragorn readies with Wingfoot if an enemy is revealed. I think that should be fine. First reveal is a treachery which we will cancel. There are worse treacheries in the game than that one, but at the moment we haven't even pulled out Elfhelm and there's only 1 copy in the deck. I'd rather not take the risk. Instead of that one, we take Dry Watercourse, and the second reveal is a Hill Troll. Good news is that it readies Aragorn. The bad news is that we can't deal with it. Well, maybe. We've added 3. It takes a damage. Actually, I'm going to spend 2 to play Ride Them Down. And then over here, I'm going to discard a Song of Kings and a Snowborn Scout and the second copy of Protector of Lorien to increase my willpower by... would make 8 progress on the quest, putting that 8 damage instead on the Hill Troll, sending it to the victory display. There's now only 6 threat in the staging area. We will travel to the Spider's Ring, and at the end of the round we'll raise our threat by 3 and ready all of our characters. And there we have Glowwine and Foehammer. Let's play Elfstone on... No, that doesn't do us any good. Let's play Glowwine, exhausting to draw this deck of card. Perfect, actually. Then let's save 1 for Ranger of Cardoon if we need it. Over here, spend a resource to put a Dagger of Westerness onto Lanwin, who's now at 4 attack. So, our strategy has not worked out well so far. We faced enough threat that we couldn't clear a side quest in the staging area on the first round. Then we got a really awkward location and only barely managed to clear it. Then we had to kill a Hill Troll. What next? Who knows? Let's hold back to make sure I will have 10 attack, 5 from Lanwin, 3 from Aragorn, 2 from Mirland if need be. Okay, that'll get me 10 attack if an Attercap is revealed. We'll leave a Dunedain lookout to trump block. And then we'll quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, naming enemy against 3 in the staging area. Alright, first reveal, caught in a web. We'll cancel it with Eleanor. There are worse treacheries out there. Okay, there's a Marsh Adder, which will reveal Aragorn. And the second reveal of staging is another Wood Elf path. We've added 4 threat to the staging area, which means we make 5 progress. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're committing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sending gather information to the victory display, clearing the spider's ring. Looking at all the cards in this deck, we'll pull out the second copy of gather information. Close and shuffle. Over here, we will look at all cards, and we will pull out... Where is he? Elfhelm. Okay. And because I really hate the dry water course and would rather let my location control deal with it. Well, when I draw it, if I ever draw it, travel to the Wood Elf's path. We are not going to do the response on Golem. And optionally engage the Marsh Adder. We'll be hitting it for 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so yeah, I will defend with Aragorn. It's defending for 2 against the Marsh Adder's attack of 4. We raise our threat by 1. The Shadow, this attack is not undefended, so Aragorn will take 2 damage, and I'm willing to have him take 2 damage. Now we'll strike back, Lanwin, for 5, because our threat of 32 is lower than the Marsh Adder's 40. 6 with Dunedain Lookout, 7, 8 with Merlond, which is enough to send the Marsh Adder to the victory display. In response, we will play Foehammer and draw 3 cards. And that is brilliant. Okay. Now we're going to ready everybody up. Drawing Gandalf for this deck and an Ancient Matham for this deck. Because we have excess spirit resources, well, the first thing we're going to do is play Gondorian's Shield onto Eleanor, who now has 4 defense. And now we're going to spend 2 resources to put 1 Ancient Matham on the Wood Elf path, and 1 Ancient Matham on this second Wood Elf path. Oh, actually, at the end of last round, our threat went up by 3, which means... No, it didn't. Because... Alright. Our threat was at 42. In the refresh phase, it goes up to 43. And then at the end of the round, it's going to go up to 46, which means... Okay, no, which means that if nothing else bad happens, threat reduction-wise, or threat-wise, I have another turn I can drop my threat in the next refresh phase. Okay, and I have a Test of Will, and I have Eleanor. I can cancel even if it comes out twice. Let's play Gather Information the second time. Okay, we'll again be questing to that. Thurindir should have an extra willpower because we cleared with a single side quest. Now, over here. Spend a resource from Thurindir to put an Elf Stone on the Wood Elf path. Spend 2 resources from Aragorn and Merlond to get a Warden of Healing into play, and exhaust the well, we'll save the Warden of Healing just in case there's another damage this round. Alright, questing again. 3 threaten the staging area. We need to make 7 progress. 1 with Thalen, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Naming enemy for Wingfoot, 11, 12, 13. 13. Okay. 13 against 3. We can discard if we need to. We're going to exhaust Glairwine to draw deck 2 a card. Another Ranger of Cardland. Okay. 13 against 3. We need 7 to clear it? Yeah, okay. First reveal, Mountains of Mirkwood. Second reveal, Mirkwood Bats, which take a damage from Thalen and are killed before they can surge. We've added 2 threat to the staging area. We're making 8 progress, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gather information is added to the victory display, but first we clear the Wood Elf path using the Ancient Matham to draw 3 cards, and the Elf Stone to put Legolas into play for free. And now we're going to travel to this second Wood Elf path, and now we're going to exhaust the Warden of Healing to heal a damage from Aragorn, and in the refresh phase, we are going to trigger Aragorn's action to reduce deck 2's threat to 25. And then, at the end of the round, Gollum will increase it by 3. And we will move on to the new round. Excellent. Alright, we've drawn an Ancient Matham and a Woodman's Clearing. Deck 2 is first player will play the Woodsman's Clearing and spend a resource from Merlond to also play an Elf Stone. And, oh, Gather Information happened. I'm going to have to put the cards I drew back because I forgot to trigger Gather Information. And it is, in fact, important that I do so. Nothing of significance has happened since then, so it should be fine. The card I draw instead of another Ancient Matham was another Ride Them Down, which is fine. And over here, I actually could draw any of a number of cards. I don't know what I need most. Let's pull out, let's use Gather Information actually to pull out a Woodman's Clearing, and the card I draw is a Burning Brand instead. Sorry for the slight retcon, I realized I'd forgotten to do that, and I need the second Gather Information to pull out Double Back for more threat reduction, which, as you might be able to tell, is kind of important. So with the Woodman's Clearing that I just pulled, we'll put it and the Elf Stone still onto that, and we will spend 2 resources to put a Burning Brand onto Aragorn. And even though we could take more damage, potentially, I'm going to exhaust the Warden of Healing to heal Aragorn, thus allowing us to deal with a potential direct damage treachery. We're going to leave those 2 resources remaining. We're going to play Double Back and a second Dagger of Westerness, this one onto Lanwin. And we have, and Glairwine is going to exhaust to draw deck 1 a card. we are going to get Eleanor's magic ring out now. Don't know how much use it will be to us, but there it is. And so we are going to quest 1 with Thalen, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therindir is now at 4 willpower. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Questing for 16 against 4. Again to the side quest. The first reveal is wargs. The second is Attercop. We've added 4 threat to the staging area. We're making 8 progress, which is enough to clear it. And now we have to make a question. Do we want to ride them down? No, I really don't want to waste another round. I can sacrifice a Dunedain Lookout to the Attercop. Oh, and Aragorn's Wingfoot readies him. Between Lanwin and Legolas will be attacking for enough to kill Attercop on its own. So yeah, no, we will take it as it is. Alright, so first things first, clearing the Wood Elf's path. The Ancient Matham will draw deck 2, 3 cards. Ooh, there's an Athelas. The Woodman's Clearing will reduce deck 2's threat by 3. And the Elfstone will let us put into play an ally from our hand. That will be Elf Helm. And I'm going to draw 2 cards with Daron's Runes. And I don't think I need a second Warden of Healing. Yeah, might. You know what? I'm just going to toss the Snowborn Scout. And play second Daron's Runes. And I'm going to toss the East Road Ranger. And double back goes to the victory display. And we reduce each deck's threat by 5. And now we're not even going to bother to travel to either of those locations. Well, no, we're going to travel to the Dry Water Course. We have enough treachery cancellation that multiple tantrums coming out isn't going to be a problem. At the beginning of the encounter phase, Attercop automatically engages the player who controls Gollum, who's guarding Gollum. And with that threat drop, I'm actually going to optionally engage wargs over here and play Well Warned to drop deck 2's threat by 2. Or deck 1's threat by 2. Both of these are damaged slightly. Okay. Dealing out shadow cards in order. Dunedain Lookout will block Attercop. Deal 2 damage to a hero controlled by the player guarding Gollum. I'll take it. 2 on Mirrorland. I have healing to take care of it. Over here, going to block the wargs with Eleanor and hope they don't go back to the staging area. They do, which is fine. And then between Lanwin and Legolas, we can kill Attercop. Oh, and that Dunedain Lookout is dead. And trigger Legolas's response to draw a card. Very nice. At the end of the round, Gollum will raise our threat by 3, but Elf Helm, his response says, while he's ready, after your threat is raised as a result of questing unsuccessfully or by an encounter or quest card effect, reduce your threat by 1. Which I shall do, and go to the next turn. Good, I now have Sneak Attack Gandalf, and an Honor Guard. Oh, I forgot to trigger Foehammer when we killed that Attercop, which is fine. And now, over here, we're going to spend 2 resources to put another Warden of Healing into play, and 1 resource to put a Song of Kings into play. There we go. And Glowwine will draw ourselves another card. It's another Song of Kings. Fodder for Protector of Lorien. We've now cleared all of our side quests. Thrindir is now up to 5. And now I think it is time to quest as hard as we can. So there's 4 threat in the staging area. Thalen, the Aether Swordsman, Beaufort, Thrindir, Aragorn, naming enemy, Merlond. So that'll be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 against 4. Well, that's not quite enough to clear everything. But that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, that'll be fine. First reveal is a Hill Troll. Second reveal is a Wolf Rider, which surges into Golem's Anguish, raising threat by 8. I have a lot of tests of will. I don't want to have both decks raise their threat by 8, so I will cancel it. So we've added 2 threat to the staging area. We are making currently 8 progress, which will be clearing the location and adding 6 to the quest. That'll be sufficient. They each took a point of damage from Thalen. And even though it could be awful, we're going to travel to the mountains of Mirkwood, revealing a card from the encounter deck. Great Forest Web. Could be worse. Now, Aragorn readied because of Wingfoot. There was an enemy revealed. We're going to optionally engage a Hill Troll there. And then it's going to go Wargs and Wolf Rider if nothing else happens. Actually, if we optionally engage the Wolf Rider, we can end up like that. Which is a really good possibility there. Okay, so we will add shadow cards. Defender of Ramas will block the Wolf Rider. Okay, taking no damage. Eleanor will block the wards, who will return to the staging area. And we will raise our threat by 1 with the magic ring to ready Eleanor. Over here, Aragorn is going to block the Hill Troll, 6 attack against 2 defense. We cancel any shadows because of Burning Brand. He's about to do 4 damage. I'm going to discard a Song of Kings to make it so he only does 3 damage. Boosting Aragorn's defense, of course, by 1. And then exhausting both Wardens of Healing to heal 2 damage off of Aragorn and 2 damage off of Merlond. Now it is time to attack. Eleanor will attack, killing the Wolf Rider. Lanwin for 7, Legolas for 3, total of 10, attacking the Hill Troll, which will do 7 points of damage. We'll join in with an East Road Ranger to kill the second Hill Troll, triggering Foehammer and Legolas to draw 4 cards. And that is very nice. Okay, we're going to ready everybody up. We have a second copy of Glowwine. Going to spend a resource to put Athelos on a Warden of Healing, The other warden is going to heal Aragorn. Glairwine is going to draw this deck a card. We're going to spend a resource to draw 3 cards with Mithrandir's Advice. And we're going to raise our threat on each side to draw 2 cards. Yep. Oh, and this deck raises its threat by 3 for Gollum and reduces by 1 for Elfhelm. And we'll spend 2 for Daron's Runes, drawing 2 more cards and discarding a copy of Glairwine. And now we will play a Woodman's Clearing on the Mountains of Mirkwood. And that is all. I really would have liked to do the Lookout, but apparently it's not to be. We're going to spend a resource on an Ancient Malum. We're going to spend 3 resources on a Rovanian... No, we're not. We're going to spend 2 resources on Unexpected Courage, and not spend the last 3 resources... No, yes, and spend 3 resources on a Rovanian Outrider so we can get some location control, raise our threat by 1 to put a resource onto Eleanor so that we can have something to pay for Test of Will. And we're going to spend 2 tactics resources for an Honor Guard. There we go. We're going to quest to the forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, naming enemy, 15, 16. 16 against 4, revealing Hummerhorns, and Caught in a Web. I'm just going to take Caught in a Web, I'll attach it to Eleanor. That is why we have Athelas. Well, you know what? Oh yeah, that's why we have Athelas. And I'm going to immediately exhaust the Warden of Healing and discard Athelas to discard Caught in a Web. Now we've added only 1 threat to the staging area, meaning we're making 11 progress, which is 3 on the Mountains of Mirkwood and 8 on the quest. First, we're going to clear the Mountains of Mirkwood. Triggers response to: after the Mountains of Mirkwood leaves play as an explored location, each player may search the top 5 cards of his deck for a card and add it to hand. I am going to add Arwen to my hand and shuffle the deck. And over here, we will look at the top 5 and grab another sneak attack, shuffling it. Then we will trigger Woodman's Clearing to drop our threat by 3, and Ancient Malum to draw 3 cards. And there we go. We advance the quest. Escape attempt. As soon as he thinks that no one is watching, Gollum attempts to slip his bonds and escape. The player guarding Gollum cannot commit characters to the quest, and if we quest unsuccessfully, Gollum escapes, and the players have lost the game. We revealed Hummerhorns, which readied Aragorn. My apologies. And I'm going to travel to the Great Forest Web, exhausting Eleanor and Aragorn. And I'm going to optionally engage the Hummerhorns, canceling 1 point of the damage. After Hummerhorns engages, you deal 5 damage to a single hero you control. Honor Guard will cancel 1 of it, dealing 4 damage to Aragorn. And deck 1 will optionally engage the wargs. Dealing out shadow cards in order. Also note, should be good to note that damage from undefended attacks must be dealt to Golem. Oh, and Hummerhorns should have a point of damage from Thalen. Let's ready up Lanwin. We are going to block the wargs. No, we're not. In order. We're going to block the Hummerhorns with Elfhelm, who do not get a shadow effect. We're going to block the wargs with the Defender of Ramas. They again do not get a shadow effect and return to the staging area. I should have played well warned when they engaged me, but I didn't. And Legolas will attack, killing the Hummerhorns and drawing another card for player 1. Alright, the end of the round, raise our threat by 3 for Golem, reducing it by 1 for Elfhelm, and ready up. There's a third sneak attack. Okay. Now, deck 1 is first player, and there's an Aether Swordsman. Okay. Raise our threat by 1 to add a resource to Eowyn. We are going to spend 4 resources to get the second Aether Swordsman into play, and Arwen. Let's move the defender down here. Arwen will target the defender this round, but Arwen in the future. Over here, a resource for Mithrandir's Advice, and there is a Dunedain Lookout. Spend 2 on the lookout, and Warden of Healing to heal a point of damage, 2 resources to ready, both Wardens of Healing to heal 2 more points of damage. No, that's the wrong way to go about it. That is entirely the wrong way to go about it. 1 resource for Athelos, exhausting a Warden of Healing and discarding it to heal all damage on Aragorn. Much more efficient in terms of actions and resources. My bad. Okay. 2 threat in the staging area. We need to make 3 progress, and this deck cannot commit characters to the quest. Alright, so we will quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 with a Rovanian Outrider. Against 2, we need to make 5 progress. That shouldn't be too hard, you'd think, right? Defender of Ramas is a Sentinel. First reveal, Dry Watercourse. Second reveal, East Bite. We've added 3 threat to the staging area. We make 9 progress. We reveal the next quest card. Having thwarted Golem's escape attempt, you tighten his rope and push on through Mirkwood to Thranduil's palace. This is to the Elven King's halls. And the player guarding Golem cannot play cards from his hand. I don't think there's anything left I really want to play other than maybe Sneak Attack Gandalf. So, having cleared the Great Forest Web, we will travel to the East Bite. Option engage the wargs. Aragorn will block, canceling any shadows. That shadow is cancelled. We will take a point of damage on Aragorn. I'm not even going to bother discarding to boost defense. and Legolas will attack and kill the wargs, drawing a card for deck 1. Our final copy of A Test of Will. Ready, everybody up? Now, should have used the Warden of Healing to heal the damage off Aragorn. I'll just use it now. Okay, let's pull some cards into some semblance of order. Alright, and there's a feint if we need it. But I think our best bet is just going to be to drop the second honor guard. And Arwen will start targeting Eleanor. Over here, we're going to spend... Oh, no, we can't play cards from our hand. Pity. Oh, and we raised our threat by 3 and reduced by 1 for Elfhelm. And we're going to quest to the Elven King's Halls. We'll quest 2, 3... I'm going to leave Lanwin up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... Putting a progress on Dry Watercourse. 13 then, because the Ravanian Outrider has its willpower boosted. Again, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus 5 for Thurindir is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And Glewine to draw a card for player 1. Another copy of Arwen. That's fine. First reveal is Wasted Provisions. I'm okay discarding the last cards of my deck. There are not 10 cards left. Over here, we'll discard the top 10 cards. We lose Black Arrow, Aether Swordsman, Foehammer, another Arwen. That was 4. 5 is the second Unexpected Courage, 6, Woodland Courier, 7, Woodland Courier, 8, Gondorian Shield, 9, Honor Guard, and 10, the second Ravanian Outrider. It's fine. It's not like we needed those cards for anything. The second reveal is a Goblin Sniper. We've added 2 threat to the staging area. It's 4. We were questing 4. Oh, I didn't put it in. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 against 4, which means we're going to make 18 progress, which is 6 on the East Bite and 12 on the quest. Advancing the quest, Ambush. As you make the final push to Thranduil's palace, your enemies make a desperate attempt to ambush your party and seize Gollum for themselves. Aragorn readies for Wingfoot. Force at the beginning of the combat phase, all enemies in play engage the player guarding Gollum. That's fine. We're going to travel to the Dry Watercourse. Optionally engage. No, we're not. We're going to leave the Dry Watercourse where it is. The Ravanian Outrider will clear it. Deal it a shadow card, block with Aragorn, cancelling the shadow with Burning Brand, and Elfhelm will kill it. The end of the round, we'll refresh. Elfhelm's ready. At the end of the round, Gollum raises our threat by 3, and we reduce it by 1 because of Elfhelm. And over here, yeah, nothing happens, so now we move on to the new turn. There we go. Alright. Nothing in particular to play. over here, just because we can, let's toss a Protector of Lorien onto Eleanor, and a Woodman's Clearing onto the Dry Watercourse. And we'll toss out a second Dunedain Lookout. And another East Road Ranger, because we have the resources to do it, and why not? So, questing. There is going to be an empty staging area. We need to make 2 progress and reveal no enemies. I kind of hope to reveal Ungoliant's spawn, actually. We're going to quest with Lanwin, Thalen, the Aether Swordsman, and the Ravanian Outrider, who will clear the Dry Watercourse, dropping deck 1's threat by 3. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 with Beaufort, 14 with Arwen, 19, 21, naming enemy. 21 naming enemy. This is going to be mightily superfluous. Reveal first, Eyes of the Forest. Eleanor will cancel that one, instead revealing a King Spider. Each of us are required to exhaust a character we control. We'll exhaust the Defender of Ramas and Glowline. The second reveal is Mirkwood Bats, which surge and are killed by Thalen. There's now 2 threat in the staging area. And we make 19 progress on the quest. Aragorn readies with Wingfoot because we revealed an enemy. At the beginning of the combat phase, it doesn't matter where we engage things because that King Spider is going to force engage Aragorn. We will block, canceling the shadow card, discarding a card to boost his defense, and Legolas and Lanwin will combine to kill the King Spider, completing the quest. We have won. It is possible that I missed the trigger on Gollum on 1 or more rounds. Probably not more than 1. But even still, with Elfhelm in play, we would have needed let's see, 5 more rounds before we got back into the danger level, and we have 3 sneak attacks and 2 Gandalfs in hand. That is, if we need to, 25 threat reduction. So, even if I made that mistake, it hasn't invalidated the run, because I do not think that we ever left any enemies in the staging area due to their engagement costs. And so, would never have had to change a combat round. All that would have mattered is just the little threat number, and it never got close to threading us out. Well, okay, at one point it did, before we triggered Aragorn's ability. But if I missed the trigger before that round, then we would have just triggered Aragorn 1 round earlier instead, which is fine. Which is just fine. Anyways, that was Return to Mirkwood. It was a fun quest. The decks performed exactly as intended. I was really disappointed that we didn't see Ungoliant's spawn. She was hiding there, and the other 2 Attercops. I mean, by the 4th or 5th turn, we were in a place where we could easily have taken them. Perhaps even earlier, frankly. Other than that little location muddle right at the beginning, the quest was under control from round 1, really. Well, okay, because of that little location mix-up, call it round 3. But that was the quest. I really don't have much commentary on the decks. I think it'll make a nice, rousing narrative. I really wish, like I said, Ungoliant Spawn had come out just for the narrative purposes of having Lanwyn confront her fear again, but that's okay. Addercop will be enough, I think. So, thanks for watching. We'll be taking a little bit of a break through the end of November due to National Novel Writing Month. Before the start of November, I may get around to making some videos of in the experimental deck building series, but this will be the last video in the Agents of the White Council campaign until December 1st, when we will move to Khazad Dûm. So, thank you for watching. Come back December 1st for Khazad Dûm, and hopefully in the 2 months intervening, there will, like I said, be experimental deck building videos for you, and between now and November 1st, the narrative write-ups of all the remaining Shadows of Mirkwood cycle quests will be finished. So Khazad Dûm will be starting with a clean slate. Until then, goodbye and happy questing.